our society is really encouraged women empowerment to such a role. I don't know who was the author of some document where it's saying we've spent a decade empowering women, who is empowering the men. So that's the challenge that most women are facing. But for me, I've seen that most of these jobs, they are sustaining when you are still able-bodied. But then when you are no longer, then the business will suffer. So my concern was that we should raise something that will help people to be sustainable, to have a market, and also continue to be exposed to knowledge on how to improve their business, how to improve their enterprises. My name is Mazvita Sabondo. I'm married to Inga Sabondo and we've got 4 children, 3 girls and 1 boy. I'm the founder of Inga Creative, which was birthed in 2015, was doing my master's in business administration, but it was finally registered in February 2019. And our first exhibition was in March 2019. I grew up in Honde Valley. That's where we come from. My parents were both teachers, but my father died in 1988 when I was in Form 1, and my mother continued teaching, but we had a rural home. We would go almost every weekend. When she finishes work on a Friday, we would go home to the rural home, and she would do farming. And on the Sunday, when going back to the school where she would teach, we would carry some things to sell. Usually they were fresh produce. Would carry bananas, would carry some fruits, vegetables to sell to other teachers. But we would find that the prices of those things were quite cheap. Even now, if you go to Honde Valley, you'd find that the prices of bananas is very ridiculous. Maybe a whole dish, you can buy it for now maybe $1, equivalent to $1 US, but it would be a really big dish costing that. And what I've also seen, would also do tomatoes. And my mother would sometimes, just the value addition would just be making some jam. But I don't know, that time they would not think about drying even tomatoes. Recently, that's when I heard that there are people who are drying bananas, but it's not something that is really happening. So I would always have time to think, what else can we do? How can we do? Is it about transport? Sometimes most of them would talk about transport issues. When my mother retired, she continued with the banana project, and they would have some trucks coming to collect the bananas. But when you say, I've sold these kgs, and the amount that she's getting, you find, is this really it? So I've seen that market is a very big thing that must be done for people in Zimbabwe and people maybe in my home area. There's need for value addition of the projects. I do consultants work, and for Zimbabwe Indigenous Women Farmers Trust, they invited me for a workshop. It was a workshop for NGOs, and we went to Kariba. And then the following day, when we just arrived there, the following morning, and going for breakfast, then that's when I saw on cereals they would serve with dried bananas. I said, there's something like this. It was my first time to see it. And I said, the way bananas are being wasted, when you grow up, it's either when the banana is too ripe, you won't like it, so we'd give it to the chickens. That's when I said we should be doing this at home. We should have been, all these years that we're growing bananas, I think we would have been rich, would have had maybe a supermarket where we'd say dried mangoes, even mangoes. You would not like the sight of mangoes that are gone bad. Sometimes even children, they just bite, then they throw away, they just do this, even the same as bananas. But we could have such a plant at our home area in Honde Valley, where the mangoes are being dried. And when you come here and you compare the prices in the food lovers market, where there's dried mangoes and also those dried bananas, I think lives will be changed. And if you look at the local market, if that Wonde Valley plant could sustain the local market, what about the international market? That's really my desire, that if we could have something there, then we do packaging, we do everything, then it's sellable. We will create employment for the women, even the youth, because they are youth just roaming around. They cannot be seen selling that basket of banana, but maybe they can be willing now to sell some packaged bananas, maybe have a tuck shop where they are selling dried fruits. If we're the canning plant, maybe the tomatoes could be canned. And also, she would talk about it, but that time maybe we're young and we could not think of how we can help this community, how we can help my mother, and also make some extra income. I had this idea to have a market day. In 2018, I attended a community development class, which was called Power Class for Women. And then that's when they said, when you are working with the community, some goals can be broken down into 1 year, into 6 months, 3 months. So they encouraged me to break my goals. That's when I started seeing that about having the building, it can be a 5-year plan, 10-year plan. But now I could start with the market. Beginning of 2019, I started life coaching training at International Coaching and Mentoring Foundation. That's when also they encouraged me to have a vision board. Then when I had a vision board, I started also breaking my goals, that this is what I want. This is what I want about Inga Creative. I started putting pictures of the creative market days that I've seen in other places. And also, that's when I started working on looking for a venue. I was focusing on Queensdale Sports Club because I wanted somewhere where it's built. But then I could not get access to really who is in charge and the like. Then I attended a cleanup campaign for Queensdale. That's when I saw the guys were organizing the event. I said, I'll contact you when I need something. There's someone who was one of the organizers. Then I told him about my idea later on. Then he said, why don't we approach SPA, the GM for SPA. Then we talked to him about your idea. Then we made an appointment for Saturday. One Saturday morning, we went to him. Just 5 minutes into the GM's office, he said, you can start even this Saturday. And I had no exhibitor. I had no contacts. I had no flyer. I had no plan where to get the tables. But that meeting in his offices, he opened doors for me. And then I started saying, no, it was in February. It was mid-February. But then he said, we'll start in March so that I have time to plan. Then he said, you can use the garden. It's available. If you want every Saturday, it's up to you. But then I had to start advertising. I had to start with the family groups. I had to start with the community group, to the Queensdale community group. That's when we started. We have to apply to the police for clearance, the city council, and all that procedures. That's when we made our first flyer. And then we advertised for 23 March. We also used the Capitalk for advertising. We also used the Kubatana for that advert. The response was so overwhelming. I started having people coming in, asking about the event, some people registering. I had to create a WhatsApp group for everyone who would have registered, put them in a group so that we keep advertising with people because we had advertised that we've got visual arts who are into painting, sculptors, photography, authors. We had people in textiles, we do beading. With people who are in events, who are in wedding events, they'll do cake making. With people in horticulture. But we said, because our agreement with SPA, they said we'll accept those with dried vegetables, because in Spa they sell fresh produce. When I started Inga, I would look at myself that I had attended many trainings. I've got many skills that I do. I can knit, I can sew, but usually after the training that you've done, or after you doubt yourself whether this can be sold. Can someone like my products? Or someone can like maybe the small circle that are your only customers. So when the women heard about this Inga Creative, where we are showcasing at a shopping area, they liked the idea. They were saying we have always been in the houses, and maybe sometimes because of these jurawas, you don't know what your neighbor is making, what your neighbor is hustling with. So the market days would make people to mix and mingle, and hence we came with the theme from the home to the world. So our idea is that what women are doing can be seen in the world, because sometimes it's just this small community that knows that my Sabondo is making some cakes, but there's a bigger market. Sometimes you charge according to what your people are able to pay, yet there are really customers who can be able to pay from what you are offering them. What has been stopping some women, they know that there's a Avondale flea market, they know there's the Broadway market, but the pricing also was a bit high for them. So what we started off doing, something that would be really not really making a profit for myself, but my passion that they be showcased, that someone can really have their work be appreciated. So that's how we started, and where prices were really subsidized. It would be just the hiring of tables, and then because the space was being given for free, we would not charge that exorbitant prices. And also we had to teach and coach our participants that maybe on that market day you do not really have people who are paying for the service, pay for what you are selling, but it's a way to network and also get referrals. Usually in the group we would get messages that I'm grateful for this market, I managed to get follow-up clients, and these things have been taken. And we've got another lady who has said, I've got an order, someone who passed by a Queensdale exhibition. Then they said, I need 3 bags urgently. Those who needed bags urgently, they want to deliver to their office in South Africa as gifts. So you see that the market really opened doors for people. And also, besides having outside people, you see someone who is an author would see another person's bags, and then they'll say, I want this. The people would buy from each other. Those with beads, they would start buying the dried vegetables and peanut butter from someone who is on the table that is next to them. So it really opened up women, new connections, new collaborations. That's our other thing, that our theme, that where women can network, connect, learn together, and spark collaborations. That's our desire, that's our theme, that's our vision, that people work together. Even someone who was just doing some beads, they started saying, can you train me to do some bags? Those who were doing earrings only, they would ask another one to say, can you train me to do necklaces? And someone would say, my daughter was trained, because we'll be having the whole day from 9 to 4 p.m. It's a whole day. So when you're sitting next to someone, you will learn something. If you are willing to learn, you learn something. We have also done, we will also do recycling trainings on our exhibitions. Each time would making use of bottles to make our displays, especially those who will be doing maybe earrings. Would also do some making bags from cans. People would say, you bring this for the training, you bring scissors, you bring 4 cans, then we would crochet, make a bag to make even for putting toothbrushes in their homes, even for the materials that those who are into sewing, there are some materials that they don't require. Those can be done to make mats, to make rugs in the homes. So recycling is also our passion, that as women we make use of everything. We'll be limiting the litter, but we also make something for the home. Our first event was overwhelming with 30 exhibitors with different ways, and it was the first of its kind in Queensdale, and it was a success. We had the next to Spa, just opposite, we've got Reynolds and Bowman. There's in the accounting company. They also exhibited, and they called ZBC. So our first event was even covered by ZBC. So it was really a huge success, and it was something new in our community. So some people were saying we've brought Borodale to the community. So I'm really proud of that. And from there, we never looked back. We would do Queensdale, we'd do Braeside, we also did Sunningdale. So these are the 3 venues. We'd also attend international events. We attended at Glamis Arena on 18 May. It was the National Arts Week. We were also invited, and our members when we were also invited at Chinoy University, where the Chirorodziwa Calabash, and also at our church conferences of a Life-Changing Women's Conference. We also had our women exhibiting there. So for 2019, we had about 14 exhibitions, and we are looking forward to more in 2020. Usually when I meet someone, I ask them their passion. What are you doing? How are you trying to make an extra income? Sometimes the person says, I used to do this, because you find most women in Zimbabwe, they say, I used to sell this, but I have stopped. We say, why have you stopped? And they'll say, I've got no market. We say, can you join our group? Our group, we allow even advertising on the WhatsApp group, because we don't wait for the market days. So you can advertise in the group. When we've got money, even our tables, we allow sharing. We encourage them. Some of them, we know that this person is passionate about, they've come before, but when you inbox them checking, are you available this coming exhibition? They said, I don't have money. We try to make plans that they can share. Even when they are 3, they share on that table. So usually it's about encouraging. What are you doing today? On our group rules, we said at least tell us once a week any new thing that you've made. Send us a picture. So we encourage someone to try to make something new, to hear from others. At one time, one person left the group and said, why did you leave? She said, I'm feeling inadequate. I think my things are not good. But she said, no, that's not it. You will make it. Because then later on, she came to the exhibition with a peanut butter, now neatly labeled. But at one time she had exhibited thinking that my products are inferior. But we are there to encourage. We send a daily encouraging message about creativity, about selling. We've got other people. We've got some women who are trainers who are in that group, who also send in some motivational messages. Besides the exhibitions, we also do trainings. For 2019, we did 3, but we repeated twice on how to improve your business as a creative person, with how to present your products when you are doing exhibitions. We also did customer retention strategies and also costing. We realized that some people, when they've made their products, they can say my wool costed a lot of, this was maybe $3 and then my labor, and then you sell that product for 20 US, and you spend the whole day, no one buys it. So we're trying to teach women on how to cost their products effectively, so that in the end they do not lose, but have something, but they don't lose the customer, and also they don't keep the stock that they have. Inga came in a dream. It was empty jars. When that time I was selling Ocean Collection perfumes. So when I had that dream, it was glass jars, empty, but they were gold, but they were written in black Inga. I had to go on the internet searching what's the meaning of Inga. Inga, when I researched on the English, it would say it's a child of a king, daughter of a goddess. But when you look at the Shona word, Inga, it's when you look something beautiful. You said, Inga, Chikanaka. And you look at something which is favored, you said, Inga Jako. So I said I'll just use that word as it is. Just Inga. I think now it's making sense that people will come with the different things to Inga and they will fill in and make the meaning of Inga. Give me Inga a meaning, because we've got people with the different things. Crocheting bags, belts. You said this is made in Zimbabwe. I did not know what I had started, but it was really satisfying. You know, women are mothers. Women are there the whole day in the family. They'll see if the children ate breakfast, if lunch, what about supper? Women are the first to see that this child's uniform is now bad, or this child now needs another pair of shoes. They see the smallest need the child does. So women are there to be helpers in the family. So my focus was to help these women, and also women needs to be appreciated of the work that they'll be doing. They also, besides the money, but they need some time even to laugh, just to relax, to be themselves. You should see them when, I thought you think you saw them when they were having photos. You see, they'll be just themselves. So I just creating just where women can connect. That's my real passion, but for them to make an extra income and to be happy. You know, a woman needs to buy also her lipstick, but she puts herself last. First, she puts her children first. But also, when you see, when they're having a hairdo, it's because they have made an extra dollar. That's because of what I had experienced coming from my mother, that should put us first and should sometimes even buy Tommy shoes. Imagine she's a teacher with a salary, but should use those for her to move around and whatever, but should make sure we went to boarding schools. After that, we went to colleges, but she persevered as a woman. So, but I don't know, but the women need some support, a strong support system. So Inga is trying to be that. I'm a privileged woman. My husband would support even when I would do these small courses that I would attend. He should just say, it's okay, you can go. So I'm saying I'm doing this, say it's okay. I would tell him about my Inga dream, and he would be really supportive. Even on the first day that we launched, he would help with the arranging of the tables, and then he left when seeing that things have started well. So I'm a very lucky woman. He supports my ideas, my visions, and the family as well. The challenges that we face are that we don't have things of our own, like equipment. We have to hire out tables. We have to outsource transport. So that's why I'm saying, if we've got a place of our own, there will be no transport charges. If we could have our own tables and chairs, then our charges will be minimal. So each time when you are planning any event, you should factor in that I'm going to use transport, I'm going to hire some tables. and also the changing of prices. Usually, you are not allowed to charge in US dollars. So you start advertising beginning of the month for an event that is at the end of the month. By the time you get to the month end and the people have paid, you will see that you have had a loss. But because you want to keep the dream going, you'd keep on saying, okay, maybe next month I will do my costing better, but the price would be changing every week. When you have advertised, you cannot change that. I said a table is going for 30 RTGS, then when someone is about to pay, you say now it's about 40 RTGS. It will not be possible. You have to be very loyal to your customers and also doing. But sometimes when you do it and you don't have a profit, but you are doing something that you really love, at the end of the day you say, at least I've done what I really want. I've put a smile on another woman's face. Because sometimes someone says, hey, the customers that I had, it was good, it was this. Inga Creative is still at its infants. We are just like on 23 March we'll be turning 1. So it's still a baby. So I'm inviting those who want to partner with Inga. Maybe you've got some tables that you are not using. We can make use of them, because when you come to our exhibitions, we cover them with the tablecloths. Maybe we've got some chairs that you are not using. We can make use of them, and we subsidize the fees that the women will be paying. Maybe you've got some ground or a building that we are not using. We can make use of that. We can use it as our training rooms or our exhibition rooms. Also, even if we've got funds that are available, we can make use of that to buy our equipment, to start maybe building our center, which will be very welcome. Maybe you've got a projector that you are not using. It will be very useful to us. Even machines, sewing machines that we can make use of. We can train our women. We've got some women who can sew, but they don't have machines. We've got those who have passion for sewing, but don't have machines. So anything, any equipment. We also collect, we've got a group of women who make water glasses from wine bottles. So even wine bottles that are not in use, some things that you think may not be useful to you, or even those small materials, if you are into knitting, we can make use of them. We can make something small from those materials that we are not using. So if you've got anything that you feel you can do to make the lives of women better, please do not hesitate to contact me. For Inga, we really want to grow the market. Besides doing Harare, we go to other cities and also are attending the regional maybe exhibitions, the international exhibitions, where we still have to look for partners who can help us with information, with finances. The whole group may not go, but maybe just a few people can attend and then carry things for other people. That would be very good for us. It will be a very good door for us. We also plan that we will continue with the trainings. We also plan that if we even have a space of our own, it will be better. You know, there's the mass drop market. They do that every Wednesday and every Saturday. They are there. It's because they've got a place of their own. So that's really my desire for Inga, that we have a place of our own, so that we continue to grow and people know we are fixed. They know where to get us. And also, if we've got a place of our own, we can have our shop, a craft shop, where we can put the products of people in the shop, so that even after the market, we've got a place where to pick even a referral customer. You can refer your customer that I saw you at Queensdale, so can you come to the shop at this direction? Or also have when I was in Cape Town, I had to go to the craft shop. There were so many things. Those in the art industry, just one shop, and I've not seen that in Zimbabwe. Here at CPT, there's the yarn shop. but there's no beads shop. In town there are beads shops, but maybe they've not all have something. So my desire for Inga is to have such a shop, even for those who are into painting, who are into knitting. They've just one-stop shopping so that it will be easy for them.